Welcome to special episode 30 of the YYC Real Estate Show. We got myself, Sebastian, Sheraz, and our guest today, Rich. And as always, we'll start off with the market report, and then we'll get into our guest.
So in the last week, it shows that we are still in a seller's market, even though the fall kind of brings a little slowdown into the industry. But as of right now, active listings are 2,759. So as we've talked about many times, a balanced market is close to the 4,000, 3,500 to 4,000 active listings is a balanced market. So having 2,759 active listings today means we are still in a seller's market. In the last 7 days, there was 522 sales. So that has slowed down. We're used to seeing, 600 to 700 per week. And so 522 sales led by Aspen, 2.85 million in Aspen, and then in Crescent, 2.665. And the lowest sales in the last week here in town were both of them 155,000 in the Southwest, Lower Mount Royal, both of them 155,000. Those are really good deals. Both of them are over 700 square feet.
What was the bedroom bath?
Both of them are 1 bed, 1 bath.
That's still good.
Yeah, 155,000 is a great investment.
With rents right now, that's like a 10% return.
Yeah. One of them, the listing price was 225. Somebody got it for 155,000.
225, huh?
Yeah. So still some good deals out there, and still a strong market here for sellers. If you're thinking about selling your home, still a good time. Interest rates, we hope they've promised they're going to stay steady and hold for the rest of this quarter. But as you know, the bank has promised many things and under-delivered, right? So we'll see how these scary high interest rates, record high interest rates, finally translate into the market. They say it usually takes about 3 quarters for us to see the results of these sort of changes. So we'll see how that affects people. Let's talk about our current listings and stuff. We've been waiting for Sebastian's new build in Cochrane. I'm excited to share that it's really powerful when you have your own listings in this industry. People reach out to you directly. It's the best form of advertising. Your name is on the lawn. People reach out to you, and that in turn can get you in front of, buyers that are ready that may want to deal with you directly. So happy to share, and Sebastian can go ahead and talk about that new build he has in Cochrane.
Yeah, it's been a great experience so far. We were concerned about the price, right? The market kind of slowing down mostly for higher end properties or more expensive properties. This one is listed at $989, and someone reached out to me about wanting to see it, and I showed them the property and they really liked it, right? So we showed them and they decided to put an offer in, which was great, and through me. So that means that I help both sides of the transaction, go through, and it's made it a lot more of a smooth experience for both parties, right? Because there's no questions, there's no delay in communication. It's just all direct between me, right? And it was fantastic because they also had a house to sell. So turns out that I'm also going to be selling their house. So yes, listings are super, super powerful. And as realtors, we always love to have them and are always excited to take on those kind of clients.
Yeah, it's been really good, and glad to hear that's happening for your listing there. So I had 5 listings, and thankfully two are now spoken for. The other ones I have are in Kensington, a big 2-bed, 2-bath plus a den, almost 1,300 square feet. That apartment there. Panorama Hills, a regular detached 2-story home with a finished basement, double garage. And then also I have Kingsland, a bungalow fully renovated. So things are actually going really well, and all the economists, the forecasters, no one has a magic ball, but they do say that us here, specifically in Alberta, then on top of that, specifically in Calgary, we should all be fortunate that we're in a good position, and we should see a strong real estate market here for us for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
So excited to see how that goes, and I hope it keeps us busy. So on that note, let's introduce again our guest, Simon Rich Jaeger, goes by Rich, right?
Yeah.
So please introduce yourself one more time to everyone out there, and then let us know From the beginning, we always ask our guests, like, where are you from? Where did you grow up? What brought you into real estate? And we'll take it from there.
My name is Jaeger. I've been in real estate for about 2 years now, and I got into it with my brother. We were a team out in Manitoba, and I lived in Calgary for years before the pandemic, and then moved back to be with family for a little while, and didn't want to spend another winter in northern Manitoba. It was just a little too isolated, so I came back here to it's kind of my new hometown, I would say, and happy to be back. Yeah, excited to join the Green Group.
Where did you grow up?
Northern Manitoba, place called The Paw.
The Paw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very small. Yeah.
How many people?
6,000 maybe.
6,000? Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
And
everyone.
Where I was living when I went back was about 700 in Cranberry Portage, so even smaller yet.
How's the market differ from us here in the YYC out there in Manitoba?
It moves a lot slower.
Okay.
There's more people moving away, kind of, or for healthcare reasons, or and it's cold, so it's hard to get families to move up there for industry purposes, or and
so most of the people moving up there are just it's for work mainly.
For work, mining or
Is that the main industry of Paw?
Pulp mill in the Paw, and then there's another community, Snow Lake, where the mine is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what did you do before you got into real estate?
I did audio engineering before that.
Nice.
For
music.
Bands or corporate audio.
That's awesome.
Lighting, projection.
What made you want to get into real estate?
I just started with my brother. He was taking his course, and thought we could be a good team up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I studied over the pandemic and got changed industries. Yeah.
Awesome.
How many realtors did you say were in that small town?
6.
6 realtors.
In the whole area.
Competition is fierce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone gets along though.
Okay, good.
Together.
You guys work together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And for a population that small, do you know how many sales there was in that town? Per week or per month? Or
we did 11 in about 15 months or so. Almost one a month but the other, it depends. There's probably 3 or 4, but probably a month moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a little slower for sure.
Yeah. The total number of houses is
and population's way smaller too, and there's not as much money. There's people, or if they have nice stuff, they're not buying another home for $500,000 if they have, they're already set up. So
if it's a lot of industry workers that are there, do you find that a lot of the people who live there are renting at all, or is it more
mostly buy?
Mostly buy.
Yeah, it's hard to find apartments up there.
Yeah. How much would a single family home cost you over there?
Probably about 200.
200?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 180, 200, 250.
Nice. So if you guys aren't happy with the prices here in Calgary, you guys can move over there, and his brother was going to take care of you.
Well, I was reading this Krebs article. Says, of course, Calgary is still ranked in the top 10 in the world for most affordable cities, which is why we were talking about many times why even out of province Canadians come here and are migrating here in record numbers, right? Just because we don't have additional taxes, additional fees when it comes to buying and selling. And we have a pretty strong labor force here, like for work. And just reading this, the Calgary's affordability, which is based on numbers taken during the fourth quarter of last year, was up slightly. So 4.0 compared to 4.1 in the previous study. So cities with a median of 3.0 and under have affordable housing markets, while 3.1 to 4 is moderately affordable, and 4.1 to 5 is seriously unaffordable. So the median multiple is the price to income ratio, is what that means. Now here, Edmonton ranked as the most affordable Canadian city in the report, but who the heck wants to live in Edmonton? Yeah. Well, he is an Oilers fan, I know that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's hockey. If you know hockey, then it's hard not to like Oilers. But we're from here, YYC. We gotta cheer on the Flames for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully they put in a good effort this season.
Yeah.
We don't have our hockey expert Zach with us today, so
he'll be back soon. Yeah. I'm sure. So for trading in real estate in Manitoba, how are the rules different? Are the contracts different? Are there additional fees per time you do a transaction for a seller or a buyer?
All the same forms of the Korea.
Yeah.
And there's different rules because for some of the lakefront properties, they have it's for their taxes. They don't pay the town taxes. They just have a college or oops.
It's all good.
What's it called?
Like a HOA or like a luxury tax?
No, it's a community. Oh, I forget what it's called.
Normally they call them HOAs. It's like a community fee, community association.
Yeah, so you
fee.
get your roads plowed.
Yeah. So a community
And
association.
your garbage
fee.
pickup, you kind of do on your own.
Yeah, strata is what they call it in the States. But here that's like basically like a HOA, homeowners association. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. So those lakefront properties, they'll all collectively pay a certain amount.
To not pay the higher taxes to be in town. Yeah. It drops your taxes down a lot lower like that. Plus, and you have your own water from the lake, and so you have a septic tank that
uses the lake water. Okay.
I wonder how that works with the septic tank close to the lake. I wonder do you know how far back they have to put it from the lake? Or?
Yeah, there's rules and stipulations for all that.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny or cool stories from trading real estate in there? Or was there any like
you need
crazy
you need winter boots for a lot of showings. Yeah.
Walk through a couple feet of snow?
For sure, to measure houses and stuff. We had to do that on our own there.
You had to measure the houses on your own?
Yeah, measure and pictures and all
I guess maybe you don't have a company over
So
there.
do you guys use RMS? Because that's Alberta thing, right? So do you guys use our residential measurement standard, RMS, for measuring properties there? For example,
go ahead.
A property that was 2,000 square feet before RMS is now going to come in at like 1,900, 1,920 because RMS does not include technically unlivable areas, does not include wall thicknesses, bay window areas, things like that. So every 1 square footage shrinks due to the RMS standard. So wondering if you guys, because now that we do it ourselves, it's really hard for you to measure a property yourself, which is why it's now part of getting, your photos, video measurement, all these measurement companies, they'll also do your RMS. So I'm just wondering if you guys ever had any of that.
No, we do outside perimeter.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd minus off the porch, depending. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, something you'll get used to now here.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Yeah, but those companies, they come in with the laser measuring tools, right? And they just do it nice and quick. If I were to go and actually measure a property myself, probably take like an hour.
I used to, and I have a laser measure because I used to, that's how I would measure my listings and measure my properties, right? And it was quick and easy. You use your laser measure in each room and measure, like you said, the perimeter. But sometimes you need help, or usually the seller's home, my client's home. So because when you're measuring like the perimeter, you got to have the laser stop. Right?
Yeah.
So usually, if you don't have someone helping you, it's hard to use that laser on the perimeter.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Cottage committee, that's what it's called.
Cottage committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so every area has their own little committee if they're not in the taxes of the towns. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we ask every single guest that comes here, what do you love about Calgary and what would you like to change?
I love the weather. It's close to the mountains. The nightlife is good here. 17th Ave is awesome.
Yes.
It's fun.
Big change from your small towns, eh?
They could use a freeway, I guess, more central in the city. Like McLeod without lights, I guess. Something that you could just central. I guess the ring road is done now, which is pretty good.
So
traffic, I guess, if you could change.
Yeah.
A pretty common answer for sure. We're such a big city. I saw this cool article where it showed an overview map of Calgary, and then within Calgary's map, it put like major cities around the world. It showed like London and Paris, and we're so large, you have no idea. We're actually the land mass of New York.
Oh, okay.
Like all of New York.
And what's the population in New York? Do you know? Is it like?
No, I don't know.
I'm curious to know.
The popular. I can find out. You think?
30 million?
In New York?
And we just got a mere 1.3, I think, right now?
8.5 million.
Wow.
Okay, maybe New York State is.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the state or is that the city?
That's New York. Just says New York City. If I go to state, 19 million.
almost 20 million.
Oh.
Wow. Oh man, I don't know. I don't think I would like living in a place that dense. Good for visiting, but I can't imagine the traffic in a city like that. That'd be explosive. Like Mexico City, I think Mexico City's 12 or 20 million people?
We're at 1.6.
Oh wow. Since when
In
did we
Calgary.
get that big?
1.64, 2023
Wow.
census.
I thought we were 1.3 by now. We've exploded.
2022 was 1611, 1,611,000. And this year, it says right here, 1.640.
It's not Kansas anymore.
That's growing fast. Wow.
Calgary sees record annual population growth.
Well,
Expects
that's
a
a-
decrease in job growth rate.
That's why we see our real estate markets just sustaining so well through all these up and downs. Most like you see Vancouver and Toronto, they had a much higher price increase for the properties during COVID. And I think they had like a 50% price increase where Calgary had about a 20%. And they crashed a lot harder than Calgary. We had a very soft landing.
Yeah.
And prices are even still going up, right? So we're probably in a sort of bubble for Calgary, but we are super fortunate to be where we are. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know when our city's going to become that big or become like a Vancouver or Toronto. Maybe people will start moving up to Edmonton instead of Calgary, but
We'll see, yeah.
yeah.
That, construction you'll see around town right now in downtown is all green line, right? So
Mhm.
we'll see how that turns out.
Do you know when they're taking down a Clare Market? I think that's next year, right?
Next year, yeah. Because I have a listing there, a commercial listing right in front of it. So that's how come I know what's happening there. So
Yeah.
I've talked to a few business owners inside Eau Claire, and they're all staying put as long as they can until they're all forced out of there. But they are all inevitably.
I think
out
their
of there.
leases go up, I think, end of March.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were offering leases last year. And they were like, lease is temporary only till a certain month.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're all going to have to leave.
Yeah, they
next
have
year.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
And tear it all down.
Yeah. Well,
Condos or?
No, green line or like a train.
Oh, really? Oh.
yeah, so we got the red line, the blue line, and now we're going to have the green line that's going to go north-south, right?
Let's have a look.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Eau Claire Market, I think, Eau Claire? How do you say that? You're French.
Yeah, it's gonna go north-south. Yeah.
North-south?
From Shepherd way south all the way up to 16th Ave North.
Wow.
Green line. Yeah.
From the last, I think the last 3 times I've been in a Claire Mall, I haven't, it's dead. It's always so dead.
I know. And they used to have the theater up top, then they changed
really?
it to a gym. Now it's just empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be a nice theater at the top.
You know, which is surprising. It's such a cool location for a mall. You would think that it would do better, but
Yeah, right by the
used to-
park there, it's nice.
Yeah, it used to be
Yeah.
a really good spot, a go-to
Yeah.
spot, but
it happened
yeah,
as
it
well.
died down unfortunately over the years.
Why do you think that is? Where does that happen? Is it just newer, better things around the neighborhood nobody wants to do?
I just think it's in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but just poorly managed, whoever's in charge of all of Eau Claire Market.
Yeah.
What do they do for events? What do they do to promote? What do they do to get people in the doors?
You know what it could have been? It's very possible that Calgary had bought it much 10 years ago. It's possible that Calgary bought it a long time ago and they just weren't investing into it, weren't giving you long leases that people didn't want, right?
Well, the biggest thing is, malls here, you got to have a restaurant attached to the malls. You got to have a certain type of, availability of stores. Whereas Eau Claire, they don't have a restaurant in there. They have one coffee shop. And then the stores they have in there, they're all very mom and pop. There is no big name. There is no franchise store in there, right? So that is also why it's not going to draw as much traffic. Because people walking in there, they're not going in there to do their generic shopping, which they go in any mall. You can walk into any store, right? Like a Foot Locker, a Hudson Bay, whatever.
And because franchise stores do want longer term leases.
Yeah. So Eau Claire, it's all really small mom and pops, Son of the Pharaoh and
specialty shops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool specialty shops, but definitely not.
Have you gotten a chance to check out the Horizon Mall? I still haven't gone.
The Horizon Mall. So I know about it because I'm helping a client. He was looking for a bay, and the price was right. So we went over there and we checked it out. But my client was just like, he's like, this is a ghost mall. He's like, something's off here. He's like, the price is so good. Now I see why. He's like, you build a brand new mall in front of a very successful mega mall across Iron Mills. So how do you expect a spin-off right across the street to do well, right? You almost need stuff in there that's not available in Cross Iron Mills, but how are you going to do that?
But Cross Iron Mills is ginormous with almost everything you'd want.
Exactly. So that, to my opinion, was the detriment there. They made a little small mall across from a very successful giant super mall.
But Horizon is a big mall, isn't it? It's pretty large, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
but it's not large in comparison to what it's across the street from.
Yeah.
So they've been having trouble, and there's a lot of little restaurants that were suffering quite a bit because they were the first ones to take the leases in there, and they're tied in for a long time. It was actually on the news. They were on the news complaining about it a few years back, how they can't get out and there's no traffic. They haven't leased anything. It's like empty except for them. So how do they expect people to come in and to the food court and buy from their restaurants when there is no other businesses around, right?
Yeah.
It's tough, yeah.
So I wonder what they're going to do with that.
Well, we'll see. I know that they do have car shows in the parking lot and they do different events.
But that doesn't help inside.
No.
It doesn't help the people that have paid.
Actually,
You can't walk there either from anywhere.
No, you can't. You got to drive.
I think I know someone who actually had a wedding in the parking lot of Horizon Mall for like the car show thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's kind of an interesting spot. Not bad.
Well, I'm seeing here, like, I still don't see a big name over there. You know, Liberty Tax, some food play, a bridal boutique. You know.
Yeah, it's almost like they should have just built an office building.
Yeah, who knows? It's been tough though.
Yeah, but otherwise, other than that, I think Calgary's doing great.
And is that even Calgary?
No,
it's Balzac, right?
It's Balzac, yeah.
That's not Calgary for sure. But no, we should be okay for the foreseeable future here.
Yeah.
So still a good place to invest. I know it's not that easy for young first time home buyers here in town right now, with the interest rate being, 5, a little over 5, and then plus prime. So you're looking at 7 to 8% interest when you go to get a mortgage, right?
Yeah.
So
and that whole like affordability part that you were talking about, it's because they look at the median household income here in Calgary, and it's $140,000 a year, which is really good for a median household income. And for the price of homes, it's still, for the average price home, it's affordable for the average person.
Yeah.
Or household. Yeah.
Rich, how can people reach out to you? What's your Instagram?
Rich Jaeger, realtor. Yeah.
Rich Jaeger, realtor.
He's
RICH.
starting to launch it. Yeah.
What is it? RICH.
Dash or underscore JAEGER underscore realtor.
Nice.
Sheraz, I think he's taking your spot for the coolest name on the team.
What, Rich Jaeger?
Yeah, Rich Jaeger. That's
Moves
awesome.
like Jaeger.
Yeah.
Moves sounds like Jaeger. Great.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being on. Is there any questions you have for us?
I'm excited to join the team. I'm just getting started.
It's gonna be good.
Start of a good journey. Yeah, well, I think we said this before. The Green Group is great, a great spot to start out. Mostly here in the city, they're so well connected to Cochrane and Calgary and all around. So yeah, I'm excited for you. It's gonna be great. And welcome to Calgary.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks again for being on. Appreciate it. Do you have any questions for us at all about the podcast or anything?
No, this is awesome.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? Like, I like to ask, even just get to know the guests, even like personal level. So I know you were into music before you got into real estate.
I played in bands for years and years, and
Nice.
What instruments?
drums, guitar, bass.
Okay.
vocals, and,
Did it take you traveling with like on tours with a band? Or
Yeah.
just whereabouts?
just around Canada.
Okay.
And I lived in Los Angeles for a few years.
Oh, really?
Tell us about that.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Get into details, man.
You play everywhere within an hour and a half, 7 days a week. So.
In around LA?
Yeah.
How are the crowds? How are the crowds when you played over there?
Oh, it's tough as an original band. It's smaller crowds, but
Yeah.
people go out to watch original music there.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is different in Canada because people want cover bands here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I lost interest in playing covers for a
Yeah.
while.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So does that mean you have some originals out?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And what genre of music is that?
Acoustic rock, kind of metal. The last project I've been doing. Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
It's on Spotify. It's called Mystoria.
Astoria. I'll have to check it out.
Astoria.
Astoria. That's a cool
Okay.
name.
And working on a new album.
Sweet.
Oh.
Moving
now?
moving into apartments, so that's gonna slow that process down.
Yeah. And is it who else is in the band? Is it
Just other guys from my old job, the tech. We're just a bunch of techs.
are they here in Calgary?
Yeah, one guy moved back to Toronto after
Okay.
the pandemic. We all kind of went, but two of the guys are still here, and
Nice.
we're gonna start firing it back up. So.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. I'd love to see one of those gigs.
Yeah. Definitely show up for that. For
Yeah.
sure.
It's gonna be a bit. We need a rehearsal spot.
Yeah.
Just- It takes a bit to get started.
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course. Yeah, everything does.
We lost our footing there, but
Yeah.
we get back going.
No, we'll definitely support you for sure once you have it
I'm
going.
stoked, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again. This was another great episode here. Excited to have Rich on and get to know him a little more. And stay tuned, and we'll see how real estate market keeps shifting and changing week to week.
Thanks for watching.